The opportunity for artists has never been better. There's never been a better time in history than right now for artists. And if you're an artist who's really wanting to expand and grow and develop your business and start an art teaching business, now is the time. It really literally has never been better at any point in history. I remember reading a book about Monet, and when sales were low, he was living outside of Paris at the time, and when sales were low, he literally would tuck paintings under his arms, and I'm sure he had a couple of helpers come with him. He'd get on the train and go to Paris and go knocking on doors to sell his art, right? Now, he went on to become one of the greatest artists in history, of course. However, my point is, as an artist, back then you had to be one of the greatest to really make a living out of it. Today, an artist of average to good, sort of ability has the opportunity to turn that into an income stream, to have a part-time or a full-time income. And you should be excited about that if you're an artist right now. There's never been a better time in history, and it may not be as good in 5 years or 10 years time as it is right now. One of the key reasons is there's more interest in learning about arts and crafts than there's ever been. The internet has opened up so many doors of possibility for people. So people who maybe have daydreamed about being an artist and, crafts, or, being a sculptor or a painter or a writer, whatever it is, people who have just had that as a passing fantasy, today is becoming a possibility for them. And they're getting online in droves to look for information to help them learn about the particular type of art that they're interested in. So there's a higher level of interest in learning about arts and crafts than there's ever been in history. So the internet's literally leveled the playing field. If you went back 10 or 20 years ago, if you wanted to start an art teaching business and hold art workshops and classes and so on, you literally had to be a master artist, somebody who already had national recognition, had a big following and lots of other artists looking up to them. You needed to be at that sort of level in order to be able to start an art teaching business. But today with the internet, it's completely leveled the playing field. So as I said before, anybody even of average artistic ability but great teaching ability can become an art teacher because of the internet. And it's such a powerful opportunity for you and I if we understand it and embrace it and use it to our advantage. With that, of course, there's increased income opportunities. People have got more disposable money now than any point in history. They're willing to invest in things like learning to paint or learning how to sculpt or learning how to create jewelry. And they're doing so in their droves. Online learning in particular has seen a huge growth curve with sites like Udemy and Skillshare and even YouTube making available training for arts and crafts like there's never been at any point in the history at all. So I really want to stress that right now is the best time for you to get started. If you've been thinking for some time about starting an art teaching business, doing classes, workshops, maybe retreats, or maybe even teaching online, if you've been thinking about that, now's the time to do it. So get started right now, right? So let's explore some of the reasons why right now is a great time to be starting an art teaching business. First of all, the baby boomer market. This is a massive, massive market. There are millions of baby boomers around the world. As I said before, they've gone through their whole life with many of them a secret desire to be creative, but they've suppressed that because they've had kids to bring up and put through school and college. They've had careers in corporates and so on, or maybe their own business, and they literally haven't had the time, and often throughout their sort of younger years, maybe not the disposable income either. However, as they've moved now into that baby boomer age group where they're sort of 55 plus, what's happened is the kids have grown up and moved away, so they don't have to run around looking after kids anymore. They're coming to the end of their careers. They're either winding down or they're retiring, and they've got more disposable income than any other group in history. So if you're an artist and you're looking for an opportunity, right now the baby boomer market is in an age group where they're looking for hobbies, creative outlets, artistic pursuits in numbers that we've never seen before. And you may not have considered this point, but this is a massive, massive market, and the time to take advantage of it is right now. In 10 years' time, they'll be moving into their 70s and 80s and potentially less likely to want to engage in art classes. But right now, they definitely have a very high interest level in taking art classes and learning more about arts and crafts. The other thing that's happened is in the last 2 or 3 years, literally, the online learning market has exploded. Sites like Udemy and Skillshare have led the way. YouTube, of course, has provided a platform for creators like you and I to be able to reach out to a global audience. And it's only been in recent years that video online has advanced to a high enough level that it made it possible to stream online. And right now, today, at the time I'm filming this, we have Facebook live stream, we have YouTube live stream, and trust me, there'll be a host of other platforms coming down the pipeline over the next 5 years or so. So because of this technology breakthrough, and because of this explosion in the marketplace of people wanting to learn about arts and crafts, the two have converged into the perfect storm, really, for artists to take advantage of. And if you see the opportunity right now, you'll recognize that there's a growing market of people who have an interest in learning to paint or sculpt or create jewelry. And the technology platforms through, Udemy, Skillshare, YouTube, Facebook Livestream, and on it goes, that technology has risen to such a point where now it's very easy to reach a global marketplace. Part of the reason why I've been able to reach 15,000 students and have them come through my online courses is purely for these two key factors that I've just mentioned. The other thing is there are free online marketing tools that you can use right now, and it just blows my mind that they're free, and it amazes me that more artists aren't taking advantage of them. So what am I talking about? Well, we've got Facebook, right? Facebook, when you know how to use Facebook correctly, is an incredibly powerful platform to attract potential students to you and people who are interested in your art. Engage them and build a relationship with them, and then lead them to your teachings, your products, your services that you provide as an art teaching business. So Facebook is incredible and it's free, right? Most artists use it wrong because they use their personal profile to promote themselves and their art. And you need to learn how to use a Facebook page. But when you get that mastered, it's an incredible platform. When you add on to that Facebook live stream, which means you can broadcast from your mobile phone to an audience around the world live out of your studio. And where I'm standing right now is actually my art studio where I create all of my online courses. And you can broadcast live from your mobile phone to an audience around the world and connect with them, and then talk to them about your art classes, your workshops, your online courses, and build their desire to want to join those, right? There's never been an opportunity like that. So Facebook Livestream, incredible free tools. Then you've got YouTube, a platform which has given an opportunity for millions of creators around the world to create content, put it out through YouTube and reach a global audience. And people are making full-time incomes. People are getting rich from that. Okay. When you combine YouTube with a site called Patreon, there are artists right now who are building, a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month recurring income streams through their art teachings on YouTube. Again, these are free platforms. Then you've got Instagram, you've got Twitter, you've got Pinterest, and on it goes, right? There's never been a time like this in history, and the tools that we need to build our business are mostly free. Now, yes, there are paid versions. You can pay for ads on Facebook and so on, but you can get started for free, and that's the key thing. Most important thing, though, is that you get started, right? Because this is the greatest time in history for artists. There's no doubt about that at all. The other thing is, if you're going down the track of starting any type of business, and in particular an art teaching business, don't make the mistake that I made, right? 6 years ago, I basically went and tried to create it all myself. I didn't ask for help. I didn't seek out a mentor, which was a big mistake. Partly because I couldn't identify the right mentor who had built the type of business that I was looking to build, who would then show me how they did it and give me a blueprint step by step. So I couldn't find anybody like that when I started out. And that was a mistake that I didn't look further, really trying to find a good mentor. If I'd had a good mentor, I would have fast-tracked my results. But today, there's more opportunities than ever before for artists looking to start an art teaching business, from people like myself and others who will mentor you and guide you and coach you through programs like this. So make sure you take on board the advice and implement the ideas that I share with you, rather than trying to reinvent the wheel yourself, right? Everything I'm going to share with you in this program is based on real world experience. I've taught hundreds of students in one-day workshops and 15,000 online. And so I'm going to share with you what worked and what didn't. And don't do what didn't, right? Only do what works, and that'll fast track your results.